Welcome to the October Pod Leaders SingularityNET Insiders recorded update. It seems like only yesterday since we spoke with you, but a huge amount has happened in those 3 weeks since our last recorded Pod Leaders meeting. And the highlight of this for me, of this period, was most definitely our AGI Hyperon meetup in Dubai. It was a legendary moment where all of our titans of AGI from across the world got together for the first time, certainly since I've been at SingularityNET, which is 2.5 years or so, to review where are we on our path to AGI. We confirmed our Hyperon alpha release for Q1 and its contents. We looked at what have we learned from LLMs and how are we incorporating our AGI techniques into LLMs and working with these technologies. And Matt will give you an update on these as we go along, and so will Sergey. And we looked at various deep forms of mathematical ways of speeding up and accelerating our AGI progress. So today's Pod Leaders meeting is going to be all about AGI. We don't have everybody here because there were a number of people still traveling, but we do have our brilliant Chief Science Officer with us and our brilliant Chief Technology Officer with us, who will both give you a flavor of the discussions. Then we'll move on to some of the internal Pod Leader updates, as well as, of course, our fabulous spin-offs. So happy October, and handing over to Haley, who's going to orchestrate today's recorded update. Thank you, Haley.
Thank you very much, Janet. It's always a pleasure. As you say, it's been a big 3 weeks. It's been a big quarter. There's so much that's been going on. I think for me, one of the highlights is when the growing AI landscape, SingularityNET as probably the biggest AI project on blockchain, I think the biggest, has been more and more in demand at events. So we've been attending a lot of events, helping to educate the community, the globe, blockchain, and beyond about the importance of decentralizing AI as AI impacts more and more people in their work, in their lives, and their jobs. And getting to spread that message is just so exciting. And then, of course, now we get to elevate the message of AGI as well. So to kick off, first, I'd like to see if Alex Blagirev, our Chief Strategic Initiatives Officer, can give us an update on some of our partnerships and strategic initiatives that are going forward. Alex.
Hey guys, this is Alex. Thank you so much for joining me. So first of all, we have a great news. We signed up several big names, and more big names coming. So please forward and follow the media news that will be published quite soon about this. I can't say anything more. Regarding recent partnerships, we signed up at Hack Network, and we're now exploring the work together. So Hack is the first ethical layer designed on the fork of Cosmos, which is halal compliant for Islamic banking. This is one of the most layer for the fintech that can be used for adoption of the Islamic banking across Web 3.0, and we are really interested to work together. So as the next step, we are discussing the launching of deep funding pools with their team, Hack Network and SingularityNET, and make developing of and stimulate developing of the AI agents that can support the new type of services on the Hack Network and SingularityNET marketplace. So the second story that we have been presented recently at SingularityNET in Hong Kong on the Edge Summit. That was a really great event on the corporate Web3 AI and investment angles. SingularityNET been presented together with AI Lab. It's a new spin-off of SingularityNET, which is focusing on the rising influencers of new level. And I think one of the greatest ideas that came up, that we take the robots and the AI robots and we convert them in a new type of the influencing, which is not only online but also offline. And we see the huge feedback and response from the multiple corporations and Web3 projects looking for this new type of product. Thank you so much.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, and you just got back from Hong Kong and an event there as well, right? At a Web3 AI specific event. So another event that we've been invited to. All of our executive team has been invited to speak, right?
Yeah. So actually, the Hong Kong is really bullish around Web3. Web3 is not equal crypto, but crypto community is really strong in Hong Kong. We met several really large crypto influencers, and we see a really strong interest around AGI in the region, and that makes us super happy. And we keep working forward with new partnerships to bring soon.
That's amazing. That's so cool. The partnerships area is always that kind of like an iceberg where you get to talk about the top 10% that we can see already, and there's still the entire rest of the iceberg.
Yeah.
Coming.
I have to keep you warm. Yeah, I'm sorry, but that's my job.
Thanks,
yeah.
Alex.
Thanks. Welcome.
Well, speaking of AGI, I'd love to get an update from Matt, from Sergey on our face-to-face AGI meetup in Dubai and all the amazing, exciting things that happened there. So maybe Matt, you could kick us off.
I'll do my best checking notes. I'm not even going to touch the top 10% or even the top 1% or even the top 0.1%. There was just so much information and discussion packed into 4 days. And I'll just kind of touch on kind of some bullet points. I'll let Sergey fill in details as well as appropriate. So mornings basically were the mornings were focused on some talks by various individuals, and then the afternoon we broke up into working session groups to deep dive into specific topics. So that was kind of the format. Each day just jam-packed. Ben started off by giving overview on cognitive architectures. Vitali followed with discussions of the minimal version of meta. We discussed timelines. In the afternoon discussions, we talked about a whole bunch of meta information as well as AGI algorithms. We discussed redesigning the economic attention network, PLN, probabilistic logic networks, inference control. That's just day one. And as I said, I can't even go into details in such a short presentation. The next day, Alexei talked on replacing LLMs with a bunch of ideas such as LangChain, Tree of Thought. Czar talked on automatic theorem proving and how that relates to AGI. We talked about semantic parsing and problem solving in the afternoon. How do we hybridize LLM and Hyperon? Again, broke into discussion topics in the afternoon. Hyperon and automated theorem proving, PLN history-based inference control again. Day 3, Greg and Adam talked, and Jonathan talked on various topics. Greg talked on the row calculus and how that can be used to scale Hyperon. Jonathan talked on advanced, a bunch of different bisimulation and advanced type theoretic topics. Adam and Greg both talked on hypervectors. We again broke up into groups in the afternoon and how to actually implement a lot of these ideas. And then on day 4, we actually kind of stepped back a bit and started talking about other scalability issues, hardware, blockchain, true AGI, Zarka, how all of this fits together. I don't even know whether that does justice to the whole very, very super intense, incredible time, lots of side discussions on how to take off of AGI. Sergey, I don't know if I'm missing anything, I'm sure I missed stuff. Whether I mischaracterized anything else, I don't know.
Thank you, Matt. Yes, certainly there was so much of things, and that was a really impressive workshop, a week long. And by the way, we also touched all the other aspects of detailed Hyperon development planning. What was really, really interesting to me and what could bring a great value to the platform development, to this process of integration, LLM-based AI with knowledge graphs, its architecture, future developments of decentralized atom space, and its scaling, and its wider integration on different layers with the LLMs. That was really, really interesting, and that was deeply discussed and planned in detail within many different groups working on their parts of the tasks. Also, we touched really, not even touched, but go really deep into one of the most disruptive topic, like integration with hyperdimensional computing. And that's one of the biggest venues for AGI in the future. So that was a great possibility to embed some of these approaches to our practical developments, and just general understanding of cognitive architectures, how we design and implement them. That was really valuable. One of the most interesting thing, I believe, was discussing bridging the gap of AI-dedicated probabilistic programming and quantum computing. So we could have also this topic on the table. Really, it's usually like the first question to the AGI designers. Oh, guys, how you mitigate the quantum risk? So if quantum computer is in the room, how you change your design? So we are not changing our design. We're integrating right from the start, and we have it in plans, in some specific algorithms, in some specific pieces of experimental programming code. We discuss it in detail, how we implement this. And even if there is no quantum computer in the room, we're still thinking about how to implement this, how to be on top, how to be on the edge of this part of combination of technologies. I believe that's mostly just an augmentation that was said by you, Matt.
So just to follow up, you mentioned hyperdimensional computing, hypervectors. As Greg and Adam kept emphasizing there, that potentially leads to 3 order of magnitude speed up.
Yep.
So
yep.
just an example of some of the types of technologies that are underlying what we're working on at present. The other thing that struck me was when Greg was talking about origin of mind and origin of life as kind of how do we get that into our AGI technologies. And kind of punctuated equilibrium.
I think for me that one of the big takeaways, even from my hobby level AI interest with the HDC computing, this hyperdimensional computing, it's just amazing everything that's going to happen there and how that's going to change Hyperon. But I mean, not as amazing as everything that's happened the last year for Hyperon, and the way that this entire rewrite of it from the ground is on track. It's progressing at this massive speed, this incredible speed, and incorporating all kinds of new information that are emerging and becoming apparent, and speed and strength with it coming together is amazing. So thank you both for an amazing update, and I'm so excited to see where this happens, and we'll bring more of this information to the community as well. Talk more about HDC computing. This is becoming a central component. Talk more about these different components that we're going to integrate next, ECAN and PLN and all these pieces that were in OpenCog that now we're integrating into the Hyperon. That's just amazing. So thank you very much. Sergey, do you have any other updates that you can give us from your technology officer role, more generally for SNET and platform?
Yes, with pleasure. I will just finalize that this workshop also covers most beautiful academic, scientific, and R&D oriented areas, but also it was really, really practical to ground all this, and that's so beautiful that we not only keep track on the most advanced and cutting edge approaches in AI and AGI, but we just have some everywhere. We have bridges to interconnect our AGI tech stack with all these paradigms, and we keep it all in mind, and we just reflect it in the current design. So we might face in future some disruptive changes. For example, we can see new design for the chips, which is in development in many different groups, which can give us not only like 3 times better computing if we count just in terms of computing power, but give us an order of magnitude or more, or even more, if we combine this beautiful tech stack design, and it's embedded deeply in our algorithms. With all these capabilities, we can start scaling immediately. So we might face new waves of this AI revolution, like we faced it with huge neural networks and large scale GPU based processing. But that's just a note. Let's keep moving and keep it practical and disruptive and cutting edge combination of technologies all the time. I guess that's in our genes of SingularityNET. So the other updates, also we had a lot of technical discussions on the platform. So we are on track. We are on track with staking, and the most significant topic we have on the desk on our plate is staking. To launch the staking, we are just generally in schedule with staking, and still counting days to launch it. And I believe we will start internal testing within the community really soon. So please track the announcements in the community to take part in that. Also, while we are refactoring and improving and updating the elements of the platform, we're starting to leave it with some disruptive ideas, because we're just moving from improvement to some really interesting and up-to-date solutions. So there would be a mixture of different types of updates and innovation around the platform that will be really, really interesting. I believe one of the most convenient and practical things would be, we are preparing a detailed guide how to develop the services from scratch, not how just upload it and onboard them, but how to develop them to make it really easy for all the developers to share these best practices with the community, and that will be presented in October. And also we're working on onboarding process improvement and always have support on these groups. We are significantly updating portal. That will be also announced when we'll have the new version released. And also we had an intensive internal discussion on properly integrating NuNet functionality to the platform. And that beautifully reflects our paradigm shift towards having large-scale AI augmented with knowledge graphs on the platform. So we can scale not only AI applications, but knowledge graphs and knowledge bases, and do it really in an elegant way from the computing point of view, from the decentralization and processing distribution point of view. So we're gonna invest a lot of our attention and efforts in the Q4 to integrate with NuNet properly.
That's amazing. It's almost unbelievable to think how much speed and progress we're making on AGI, on the OpenCog Hyperon framework, and at the same time, we're also innovating in the space of decentralizing AI and the distribution channel on blockchain for decentralized AI, creating best practices for AI developers to build on blockchain. I mean, it's amazing. It's so many directions all at once that we're not just building on, but innovating, creating, building. So thank you very much. Staking, of course, is an important update. We do look forward to announcing to the community our limited internal community testing to test the front and back end, everything that's happening there shortly, and then open it up to wider use as well. So thank you very much. Of course, the NuNet integration, long anticipated. It's so exciting that that's moving forward and happening now, and we'll hear from NuNet a little bit later as well. But first, I'd love to touch in with you, Raphael. You've been doing such an amazing job with Deep Fund Round 3, working with the community, working with proposers, working with the eligibility evaluators and assessors. And can you give us a little bit of update about where we stand with Deep right now?
Absolutely, Haley. Thank you very much. Yes, I am also amazed with the news that we are hearing here. It's amazing to see how this ecosystem is thriving for SingularityNET and AGI, and having a deep funding program as some sort of foundation to bring new initiatives into this universe. It's also something remarkable that I am very glad to participate and to foster. Well, first thing that I would love to tell you guys about the Idea Fest that we had last week. We had more than 60 pitches from proposers that were recorded by our community. It's a community initiative, which shows our decentralization process that are teaching and explaining the community, and mainly the voters, our current voters, what are these proposals, how they can improve this AGI environment and the overall landscape. So this was a very important process that we passed through, and it has been an amazing experience together with the community to do it. Also very, very excited with our voting that began today, October the 2nd. We are going to have the voting portal open until October 8th, which are going to give the ecosystem, and also beyond the ecosystem, the opportunity to analyze and assess each proposal and vote for it. And we are very much looking forward to have the community and the ecosystem, you that are here, leaders or not, to push this opportunity to have really aligned with the SingularityNET mission and vision people to vote, to assess, because we don't want only numbers, right? We really want people that are into SingularityNET and then that knows our goals, to vote in the right proposals. So for that, we launched as well, we released a blog post with a step-by-step on how to vote, zero to hero. You can have no idea about crypto wallets, for instance, and you will be able to go there and contribute with the voting. I'm going to share here the link to it. Please take a look. Yes, and share with your community and ecosystem, right? So we had more than 120 proposals eligible for this phase. So we do appreciate more votes, again, aligned votes to choose the best ones. We also released a request for proposal pool blog post explaining and recommending which proposals we suggest to vote, considering we requested. But also we had community from the previous awarded teams members that recommended overall proposals in the marketing pool and the ideation pool. So it's also something very unique to have. Besides that, we are preparing a retrospective for the upcoming weeks with all these stakeholders that are not necessarily internal from SingularityNET Foundation, to understand what we can do better, what we can improve, and what we can keep from the current process, which is very important considering the deep funding program. It's very experimental at this point, even though we also have a lot of amazing outcome supporting this initiative of SNet. Beyond that, it's not something that's certain to occur, to happen, but we are assessing together with the community, a few community members. We formed a group of people to assess and evaluate grounds to future educational pool for our deep funding program. Again, it's not something that it's going to necessarily occur, but we are studying this possibility because we understand this educational process is very important for a sustainable deep funding program process. Okay. Basically at this point, that's the updates from deep funding program and how we envision the upcoming weeks until the next round. And another important date is the October 20, which we are aiming for having the selected proposals by the community in this decentralized process to be determined. And we are going to bring in the next pod potentially all the selected proposals that are going to become projects for our platform and foundation. So very happy and excited with the upcoming weeks. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Rafael. That's amazing. It's so powerful. Everything that Deep is doing, building, growing. I love how you're utilizing all the expertise that's within the Deep ecosystem already, bringing in past proposers to look at future proposers, helping the community understand from a developer perspective what it takes to make a good proposal and to build a proposal within the Deep ecosystem. All the decentralized processes that are being built and the way that Deep is becoming more than just for developers. We have the marketing pool, possibly an education pool. So everybody who's passionate about SingularityNet's mission, about decentralized AI, can develop services, can use services, or can support those services and support Deep itself. That rounded ecosystem that's being built there will be such an important foundation for the decentralization process that SNet's going through in general. having built those systems and have those people in place that already understand and are innovating and thinking on that space. So Esther's not here today. She couldn't make it, but Jan, if you could provide an update on the supervisory council, there's so much going on in our decentralization area. If you could provide an update on that, that'd be great.
Thank you. I'd love to. Of course, I can't help making one or two remarks about deep funding. I'm really astonished by the success of it, having so many proposals in, so many high quality proposals in. Thank you, Raphael, for the great work you're doing day and night, seven days a week, being available for everybody and leading this in a great way. So that makes all our lives, but especially my life, a lot easier. So thank you for that.
And thank you also from me, Raphael. You're doing such an amazing job and making a very big difference to the organization, to the community, to the success of the deep funding, and you're just such a brilliant person to work with as well. So thanks from me too.
Thank you very much, guys. It warmed my heart, definitely. Thank you.
One thing I'm also very happy about in this round are the RFP proposals. I think we have some really high quality proposals in. The one that comes to mind right now is the DeFi graph with a team consisting of ETAX and MIT and Neo4j all coming together to build a great solution for SingularityNET platform. How wonderful is that, right? So, and then, and there's more to come. I'm working on the new platform right now, and the first version is already nice. I'm seeing what will coming next. We have great ideas on how to develop this further. So I can't wait to see all of that unfold. I'm really impatient about that. I wish we could talk 1 year in advance and see where we are right then. But there's enough to enjoy today. And one of these things to enjoy today is the election for the Supervisory Council, which is also very important for our future. So this Supervisory Council will have a very leading role in creating the decentralization blueprint, which will to a great extent determine the decentralization path of SingularityNET forward. And we're trying to speed that up and enhance our decentralization effort. So that will be the main task of the Supervisory Council. The election period, submission period for the candidates has just closed as of this morning, very early, as we're recording this video. Up next, I'm not sure when this video will be available, but we are planning 2 sessions with our community and the candidates to present themselves. We waited to define a specific format for this until we knew how many people were actually candidating themselves. The format would have been a little bit different if there would have been 5 people, but right now there are 24 people, 24 candidates for the Supervisory Council, which is great. Some well-known faces in the community, which is great in itself. Some new faces to the community, which is also a great thing. So there is something to choose here, really. So what we'll do over the next few days, we'll organize and structure the data from Sway in our WordPress portal. Maybe our dear friend and colleague Reiner can put a URL here to that portal. And it will have all the information on all the candidates. We'll have the presentation session in Zoom, and community members are invited to join that session so they can ask some questions to these people as well. But it will also be very time-based because we have so many great candidates to present themselves. After that, we will collect that into a video. And that will help you guide our community to vote for the people that they think and you think are most suitable for this really important job for the next 6 months. But the results of this job might resonate much longer beyond that horizon. So the voting will start next Wednesday. on the 11th, and it will be open, the voting portal, for a week till Tuesday the 17th of October, and very shortly after that, maybe about the same time as the deep funding results, we will also have the results in for our new supervisory council, so that we can start working for real on that. So I suppose these weeks are voting weeks for SingularityNET, and we can't do it without you. So be there, vote, we need you. Thank you.
It's a very much engaged time for the community. We've got deep voting, where we get to literally vote on the future of the platform, what services will run here that we're going to help fund and build. We've got the supervisory council election, where we get to vote on how the organization will decentralize, create its first blueprint of decentralization for the platform and the organization. And then hopefully we should have internal testing for the staking platform coming up. So keep your eyes on updates and announcements. Right now, there's so much coming through that the community has a lot of opportunities to get involved and really help shape the future of SingularityNET and everything happening here. Thank you very much, Jan, for that excellent update. It's so exciting to see the explosion of candidates that happened here at the last minute from all over the world. Very diverse crew, lots of expertise from different areas, and I'm very excited to see how that comes together to become the perfect team for what we're building next. I'd love to hop over to Loic, Chief Marketing Officer, and all the updates on how SNET's becoming the biggest AI decentralized brand in the world.
Hi, everyone. So yeah, there's been a lot of things happening in the marketing department lately. I'm not in my usual surrounding, as I'm in Canada right now to discuss with some potential partner that I can't really talk about right now, but that's an exciting prospect. I'm on the heel of another event that I went to called Cypherpunk 2049. We were invited by Cryptosaurus, which kind of like coincides with I talked about the desire for us to get more involved with the influencer community. So this is part of that. This is part of this effort. We had very good talk with George, the main guy of Cryptosaurus. I did a presentation there regarding the blockchain layer 3 and the knowledge layer. Basically, it's kind of like the new narrative that we are building. And I'm happy to report that a lot of people came after the presentation and told me about how they are very impressed with what we are doing, the kind of like, especially the mission, the type of mission we have, right? They are starting to get a lot more understanding about the fact that we are proposing an alternative to all the big tech, right? We discussed about Amazon just getting their 4 billion investment in Anthropic. And now, as always, we have DeepMind with Google, and now we have OpenAI with Microsoft. And like, who's taking care of the little guy, right? Who's taking care of all of us, which are not necessarily only taking care of the shareholders and the money. Like, who's going to come up with proposing an alternative? And they are very impressed with the type of work that we are doing and how we can help proposing a different way. So I had a lot of talk with people after that, and also they really like how we are slowly starting to cater for a bit more mainstream audience by kind of breaking down the explanation, because what we are doing is so high level that sometimes we take it for granted, that knowledge. And so my mission as a marketer and is in SNET is to bring down the level of understanding and allowing everybody, my mother and my sister, which I don't have a sister, but you see the point is to bring that level of knowledge so that people can understand what are we doing truly. So we are working on that. We are other events that we are going to. We are going to the Cardano Summit very soon, and then there's we are doing as well a Mondo event next week, which is a music/AI event in New York. So that's going to be fun as well. And then after that, there will be we will be going mainly to Dubai for probably the next 2 months or something like that, where we'll have a lot of events, and Janet will be going there to speak about, again, the same narrative. There's also something I can't really dive too much into right now, but we are preparing a big event for next year. So we will start to unveil this as we go along. So it's pretty exciting. As I said, we are now kind of like defining this new layer 3 narrative. So the team is having a lot of brainstorm. We are building the skeleton in terms of initiative and kind of like what type of content do we want to build. So the Haley's and the team, Raf and all these guys in collaboration with Jan and the team, we are building something pretty cool, I think. And again, it's that would be a trace to everybody, not only AI scientists out there. CRM, I talked about it last time. I can't remember now when was the last pod meeting, but we are moving. We are making good strides. We are now defined kind of like overall strategy, like what kind of beat are we going to give. We are working on a newsletter, which is super sleek and very cool. I don't know if I can say the name right now, but it's called Synapse, and it's all the credit goes to Santiago, who's building that with the rest of the team. So that's pretty exciting as well. We're going to be again able to address the general public, but also the people that are more interested in AI. Short content video, still in the making. We're still experimenting a lot, but we are building our strategy, and we should be able to, as soon as we onboard the person that we're looking for, that will take the whole initiative to another level, we'll basically be handing over everything for that person. Then it'll be pretty cool, I think. As for the rest, we are just keep supporting maybe the initiatives, the other spin-offs like Gem Galaxy, Rejuve, AI Bio, and some of the other spin-off. We also joined the Blockchain Game Alliance, as I know Alex talked about a few weeks ago, and so we're trying to understand what can we do with them and stuff like that, right? And of course, as been mentioned, the Super Council election, we are supporting that in terms of like what kind of, how can we give a broader exposure for this super cool initiative. And I stop here because otherwise it's going to be too long.
Yeah, thank you so much. There's a huge snowball effect happening in the marketing area right now, where there's so much to talk about and so much is happening to talk about that it just keeps growing everything out there, and how to package that in a way that helps the community understand what's happening and helps bring that message more broadly as well. It's so important that everybody has access to AI. It's going to be so impactful for everybody in our work, in our personal lives, as I said before. And the first step to making sure that everybody has access is making sure that everybody has access to education. They can understand the state of the art with AI, where it's headed, how it will impact, how they can be involved. And also knowing that while the Googles, the Metas, the Microsofts, the Amazons are investing billions in creating really cool products and projects, you don't have to feel like they're going to do what they're going to do and there's nothing I can do and I'm at the mercy of however they're going to build it, whether it's ethical or not ethical or that, all I can do is read the headlines. No, people can get involved in SingularityNet and other decentralized AI initiatives. They can get involved in DEEP. They can get involved in the ambassadors, and we can all have a say in how AI develops and how AGI develops, in making sure that there's solutions that are real solutions for real people being built and offered out there. All the big tech projects are putting their money on their horse. Amazon just threw in on Anthropic billions of dollars, and we're the underdog, we're the little guy, but we have the wisdom of the crowd, we have the wisdom of the planet with us, behind us, for us, and there's so much power, so much innovation, so much energy there that it's exploding. We can just think about, Loic, you and I, we had a conversation last week. Imagine if Microsoft and Apple had been the only OS game in town, right? If Linux had never developed, where would we be? What would life look like right now? Linux was small for a long time, but now it's mushroomed into being the biggest, I believe, the biggest OS out there. The decentralized option is what has prevailed and become pervasive in so many applications, even enterprise applications, because with all that crowd working on it, it was just able to become so robust and flexible, modular, all these things that we're building within our system. So yeah, thank you very much for that very comprehensive update. I'm so excited to be a part of that and looking forward to seeing how much more we can do going forward.
And actually, you brought a good point that I didn't even touch about, but that's the educational initiatives that we are building we're building a layer basically that is kind of like very secretive right now. We don't talk too much about it, but there's a lot of education content that we are building, and like you said, not only for the AI people, not only even for the white kind of white collar worker, but also for all age and all horizon basically. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much. Well, thank you very much. I'd like to turn now to some of our spin-offs that are here, some of our ecosystems. So Patrick, I'd like to start with you. Can you tell us a little bit about Jam Galaxy and what's new in the world of AI and music?
Of course, I will be very happy. So what is new in Jam Galaxy? So we are currently making progress in development. So let's start with that. So we are making a progress with our platform, and especially with integrating our AI modules. So with Sergey and his great team, we are currently working on integrating the our internal AIs, which is like a song splitter, and also a basic AI music generative model, which could be creating loops and could help with creativity for musicians. So that's a big part of what we are currently working on the platform. And another part which I'm very excited is the low latency solution as a network for artists, so they could make music together live. And we had some really I would say a breakthrough in understanding of how the internet infrastructure works. So we had a call with a couple of experts that are helping, especially in a finance world, like with setting up the infrastructure for low latency solutions. So it was very interesting, and we have much bigger knowledge of if there's of course many ways how it can be built, like a peer-to-peer server infrastructure. And so we have much deeper knowledge of how such infrastructure can be built, which is really incredible. So we are very happy about that. We had some important decisions to make in the development, and I'm happy, and I have a good feeling that the decisions are so far good, and that we are going towards having something that can really change the life of musicians, that they can be connected. So that's very exciting. We also are working of how exactly in an effective way we can implement the blockchain layer in a way that it can really utilize and help musicians to be achieving to to be connecting, and also how they can more effectively monetize and be supported with the blockchain layer and with the cryptocurrency. So that's also something we are working currently very hard, and which comes of course to a question of TGEs. I mean, that's something we are preparing for, and we are all excited about it. We want to of course do some seed round funding to expand our team and have some great minds in our music projects. So that's definitely something we are talking a lot with our partners and VCs and so on. And about the partnerships, also we are expanding our partnerships in especially in Asia, because we see a lot of momentum in the Asia market, especially in Japan, and where it's the second biggest market. I was talking last time about it, and it's some very specific and unique market, and we can see like how they are very excited about new technologies, and how they are very open-minded about adaptation of blockchain and adaptation of AI. So that's very exciting. And so we were also present in conferences. So we were actually came last week from Singapore, where we were in Token 2049, which was actually really interesting in a matter of hearing like a lot of panels that were actually very inspirational, and actually open us a lot of ideas of maybe use cases where we can actually integrate in our platform. And we also had a great time, of course, with our Japanese partners, which are helping us a lot. And if I will be specifically, we had a meeting with our partners from Cardano, so from Emurgo, IOG, which are fantastic partners of SingularityNET, and they are very, very supportive of Gem Galaxy. So we are very excited to discuss also future integration of Voltaire and 1694 voting systems in the future for the platform. So that was actually very exciting. We also had some nice short meeting with Winklevoss twins, which as they are legends in the blockchain space. That was pretty wonderful. And also one of them I want to mention is also CEO of Napster, which Napster, as you might know, is a dinosaurs of music industry, but they are actually currently pivoting their project to blockchain. And so we had a short brief talk with the CEO, and it's interesting how they are approaching the development of on their side. So that was very, very nice. And we are now getting ready for New York for Mondo NIC, which if anyone will be in New York, you're more than welcome to join us there. So it's very exciting. Of course, being there with Ben and with other beautiful minds in the music, and discussing of what is the future of AI in music and the music industry. It's a hot topic in the music industry right now, and I'm very curious how everyone is gonna see their point of view and their mind of how AI can influence the music. And of course, Desdemona's Dream is gonna have a concert there, so 10th of October. So that's gonna be exciting. So thank you very much.
Thanks, Patrick. That's so great to hear all that exciting, everything that's happening within the Jam Galaxy area, within the music and AI area, within all of these spaces. I love how, in our conversations, you have a special passion for helping musicians connect, which is just beautiful. And it's so important in this day and age and technology and the diversity on the planet, and how distant we can all be from each other. But creating this space where it's kind of fluid, like we get together, the band's getting together in New York, but then, they can also be together playing in the future through these technologies anywhere in the world, and creating that space where it doesn't matter if we're together or we're apart, we can still connect, we can still share art, we can still share music, and then also bringing that to the level of helping the music industry is it's so hard for musicians, and everything that we can do through blockchain to make that better, collaboratively and economically, and distributing that value via blockchain for musicians, bringing art, bringing music, bringing this fundamental part of humanity into the forefront of technology and development. So thank you, Diane. Thank you, Patrick. Thank you, Gem Galaxy team, for everything that you're doing there. It's amazing and important for humanity. So speaking of important for humanity, we have an update from Kennedy from Rejuve Bio talking about longevity, which anybody who doesn't want to die, it's a topic near and dear to their heart. Right? Thank you very much, Kennedy.
Either if you don't want to die, or if you just want to live healthier for longer.
Live well longer. Yes. Either way.
We'll do that too. So things are moving along well at Rejuve Bio. We're exploring some pretty critical partnerships with some other companies that will help us with our downstream drug development once we're ready for that, once we've identified our targets using our novel AI bioatom space. Once we have those targets established and we've tested them with flies, we're talking with another CRO that focuses on longevity to help us with that downstream drug development. So in our mice, rats, testing all that stuff that I don't do in-house because I'm strictly a fly lab. So that's exciting. And there are an American CRO, and I've been making really good connections with them as well. We're also exploring some other collaborations with some other longevity companies that could help us collaborate on some other experiments, testing the flies for how their movement changes as they age, how their sleep changes as they age, and of course, sleep, movement, metabolic activity. Those are some of the major orthologous genomic chunks that we have in common with our super long-lived flies and with humans that we think are actionable targets that we can actually work on to improve human health and human longevity. And then on the development side, our CSO, Mike Duncan, was in Dubai this week. He gave me an update that Flybase is now completely uploaded into the distributed atom space, and they're getting ready to be able to test probabilistic logic network queries on the knowledge base. And so this is laying the groundwork, the foundation for the platform that will allow us to make inferences, find the genomic similarities between our long-lived flies and humans, and generate hypotheses that are most promising for us to explore in terms of actionable longevity targets that we can go after in the flies that will have a reasonable probability of working in humans as well, which will be a much faster drug discovery pipeline than the traditional methods that we've had in biological human history up until now. So
that's fantastic. That's amazing. Thank you so much. It's explosive. Everything's coming together from all fronts, downstream for research and therapy development, upstream for creating the AI. There's too much bio data for a human to crunch. That's becoming increasingly obvious and apparent. And now we've got bio data from flies and humans that we need to combine along with potential therapies. AI is the absolute only way to do that in an efficient manner in this lifetime. So thank you. That's exciting. That's amazing. NuNet, we'd love to hear from you and everything new that's happening within your ecosystem as well.
So it's been another busy couple of months at NuNet, from a development, community building and team development side. So firstly, from the development side, we've made some significant improvements and progress with our public alpha testnet program. We have allowed for the onboarding of AMD and NVIDIA GPUs, And most recently, we had a Tesla P100 GPU onboarded onto the testnet as well. We've also updated our dashboard with analytics on jobs that have been ran and nodes that are active on the testnet as well. So it's a lot smoother process to see real-time information on public alpha testnet. As well as that, we've had numerous reports from the communities about a more smoother and more time-efficient job executions. So that's running machine learning jobs on NuNet. And also, our testers community continues to grow and develop. With some testers running their own experiments on NuNet, which is fantastic to see. So a couple of weeks ago, we had a tester mine Tuna, a proof of work contract on Cardano using NuNet's decentralized computing. So for those who want to kind of see how that was done, you could head into our Discord channel. Tests are still being ran on it, but it's super cool to see the initiative from the community to run out things outside of machine learning algorithms on NuNet. In terms of community, we recently rewarded our stage 1 and 2 testers, and stages 3 and 4 are still open for rewards. So those who want to get involved can still get involved by heading to our Discord channel and self-assigning yourself tester roles. And we're working on a system now to elevate the community testing process and have a more streamlined approach to rewarding testers in a more time-efficient manner of rewarding community testers. So in regards to that, it's been a very successful couple of months for NuNet, and just a big thank you to the Cardano community and testers for their continuous support and active participation in helping us build the NuNet platform. In other news, in terms of team growth, we brought 3 new team members onto NuNet, bringing the total team now to 32 people. And we also have several positions open still at NuNet across various roles. So if you want to join our team, you can head to nunet.io/links, and there will be a link there to the jobs board. Then in August just gone, we participated in the Rare Evo event where NuNet CEO Kabir gave a really nice talk on the history of decentralized computing and the opportunities that Web3 brings alongside of that. And this year, we're also really excited to participate in the Cardano Summit in November in Dubai. And we look forward to further connecting with the Cardano community and other Cardano projects at this event. So if you are attending, please drop by the booth and make sure you chat to the NuNet team to see what's the latest news with the project.
That's fantastic. Thank you for sharing all that. I can't wait to see all of that happen and see Ethnet and NuNet working on their integration at last coming to fruition, and how the platform and NuNet can work together to build each other up here shortly in this quarter. And I'd like to touch on Mineplex as well. There's a lot of exciting upcoming news for Mineplex project, and I'd like to hear them all.
Thanks, Hayley. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Connor O'Higgins. I'm the Chief Operations Officer of Mineplex. And I'd like to give our community today an update on where Mineplex is at in October 2023, what we're doing. So we launched Mineplex earlier in the year as a magazine based on a customized version of WordPress. We integrated SingularityNET's artificial intelligence based reputation system and ranking system into WordPress, and we've been running our magazine on that. And today, I am happy to announce that we have completed a customized version of Mastodon. The Mastodon, what would you call it? A federated microblogging service. We now have a version of that will integrate the reputation system and ranking system in a way that's compatible with the underlying MPX and MPXOR based system on the blockchain will work across WordPress and Mastodon. So we're going to transition the magazine comment section to the Mastodon software, and the social feed that some of you guys have been using. You'll see our social feed on magazine.mineplex.ai. And yeah, so that will all shift over from the WordPress system to the Mastodon system. The next thing our software team are going to be working on full time is mobile apps for Android and iOS. That's our focus now, so you can expect them by the start of 2024. We've expanded our team and ramped up our marketing efforts. We've got new people working full time for us on marketing, and the numbers are going up in terms of our daily active users. We've reached the milestone of having 1,000 active users. I think last I looked it was about 1,200 active users, so that's exciting for me. I like to see the first 1,000 members of the community come together. It means that something is really going on, and yeah, they can feed off each other, and then the second 1,000 is going to be easier, and yeah, onwards and upwards with that. We're running a writing competition to submit stories to Mineplex as another incentive to grow this community. You can find out the details of that on our Telegram, which you'll find links to on SingularityNet's website or on our own website, mineplex.ai. Okay, thanks for your time. Please visit us at mineplex.ai, create an account, and join the conversation.
Wow, that's wonderful. There's so much happening there. There's so much development, and the project is just going from strength to massive strength. And of course, Peter, could you give us an update about everything happening with the ambassadors, the amazing progress happening there, and all the fantastic involvement of our community in forming that decentralized structure?
Hello, everybody. A quick update on the ambassador program. The main discussion currently ongoing is the Q3 budget review. And we went from having allocated budgets for work groups to more of a fund request approach. And we tested this for Q3. And basically for Q4, we're kind of converging approaches, now moving back to having both allocated budgets and fund requests at the same time. And we're also likely to drop the ambassador role-based rewards. So yeah, purely focusing the rewards on the outputs. And a minor note is that we're now also supporting Arabic and Turkish translations for the SingularityNET blog posts. And we're looking into supporting Mineplex magazine with translations as well. Outside of that, well, this week and next week, there's a whole bunch of voting going on with both deep funding and the supervisory council elections. And we have ambassadors participating in both. So I'd urge you to join in the voting. That's pretty much it. If you're looking to help out with the ambassador program, do join us on Discord. And hope to see you in one of our many meetings. Thanks.
It's amazing. Every time I hear about it, the energy that's happening there, the excitement, the enthusiasm, the self-organization, just it blows me away. I appreciate everything you're doing, everything the ambassadors are doing, and that's amazing. Thank you everybody for joining us here today to hear about all these amazing initiatives, amazing progress happening within AI, AGI, decentralization, music, and everything. And I'll hand back to Janet to finish us off.
Thank you. I just want to say I feel very extraordinarily honored to work with such a esteemed team who are pushing the boundaries at all times of what we can do with technology, how much we can deliver with the resources we have. And I feel we are very, very, very lucky to be supported by such an amazing AGI supportive community who support our core mission towards artificial general intelligence, who support everything we do. Please keep it coming, keep the likes, keep the reshares, keep the chat going on the channels. It is a pleasure to serve you, our amazing community. Have a brilliant month, October. We're here right at the beginning of the month, and we'll see you again in November.